You're entering CNBC TV18's Fire Safe Studio, powered by Century Ply. Now with Firewall technology.
Morning, you're watching Trading Hour. I'm Mangala Malu. With me is Reema Tendulkar joining in from her residence. We kickstart a new series today. The market's off the morning highs, but holding around that 15,800 mark for the Nifty. The July series known for big moves on either side, and this time around the rollovers have been 85%, which is a multi-year high. So to that extent, it will be important to watch out for. The metal stocks, they are powering ahead, they are supporting the markets. But on the other hand, the lid on the gains has been put by Reliance, which is trading lower as we speak. Hi, Reema.
Hi Mangalam, absolutely. It's big boy Reliance Industries which is weighing on the markets. It has a 10% weightage on the Nifty. So with this cut of 2.5% that we can see on Reliance Industries, it's taking away close to 40 points on the Nifty. And that is in a way the reason why we're not participating in the rally that you can see across the region, where the likes of the Hang Seng, the Shanghai are up close to about 1%. As you pointed out, you can see gains in many of these steel names. So Tata Steel is up close to about 5%. In the IT pack, you've got some of the stocks like a Tech Mahindra as well as HCL Tech, which have hitherto underperformed the index so far this year. So they're playing a bit of a catch-up. But on the flip side, FMCG names are taking a bit of a hit. So Asian Paints, HUL, Nestle are all currently in the red. But right now, in the next 10 minutes, we're going to be putting the spotlight on the IT sector. Now, Accenture reported numbers yesterday. They reported an excellent all-round quarter. It was a 16% constant currency revenue growth on a year-on-year basis. Their order bookings went up by 39%, and there has been another guidance upgrade. But the question is how much of it is actually in the price, because if you see the way the IT stocks have moved, they have outperformed the markets. Month to date, the Nifty IT index is up 7%. Year to date, it's up close to about 20%, outperforming the Nifty as well as the Nifty Bank. So today, we're going to be weighing in on the growth versus the valuation argument. Let me invite the two experts on this. Sandeep Agarwal of Edelweiss Securities, who's extremely bullish in the IT sector, and he has been for the last 2 years at least, and Sudhir Gunatupalli of ICICI Security, who recently turned a bit cautious in the sector. So he's got a bit of an anti-consensus cautious call. So gentlemen, morning, and thanks so much for joining in. Sudhir, let me start with you, because across the board we've had people who've been saying that Accenture numbers are actually very strong. But you believe the read-through from the Accenture numbers on the listed Indian IT companies is not as positive as it's perceived to be. Can you tell us why?
Sure. Thanks, Reema. Thanks, Mangalam, for having me here. Good morning to you all, including Sandeep. First point to start off, Reema, is if you actually look at Accenture's numbers, there's a bit of context that we need to understand when we are reading the headline data or when we are looking at the headline data, right? Especially year-on-year numbers tend to be a little deceptive, given that the pandemic has impacted the previous year May quarter significantly. So year-on-year numbers tend to look very strong, but I think it's more of optics, it's more of a misleading metric. So the better way to look at it is in terms of sequential basis. And if you actually look at sequential numbers, moving away from the headlines a little bit, and if you do a bit of in-depth analysis into the numbers, you will realize a significant part of this beat that Accenture has reported is coming from the consulting segment. And there is a bit of a recovery in the consulting, and there's a bit of normalization of travel reimbursements. So these two factors have led to very strong beat on the overall expectations, and these two factors have led to very strong growth for the company overall. But let me highlight the fact that this consulting segment is not very relevant for the Indian IT companies. The other part of their overall portfolio, which is the outsourcing segment, that's what we should be more focused on. So if you look at outsourcing segment on a sequential basis, organic growth was in the range of, we estimate the organic growth to be in the range of around 3.1 to 3.6%. Pretty much in line with what Accenture has been reporting before the pandemic. For the last 5-6 years, if you see, in the May quarter, whatever growth rates Accenture has been reporting, yesterday the organic growth rate that they reported was pretty much in line or largely in line with what they have been historically reporting, even before the pandemic. That is point number one. And point number two, if you see the guidance upgrade, right, for anybody who has been tracking the sector data closely, they would understand and acknowledge the fact that this upgrade is sort of anticipated for a very long period of time. For the last 6 to 7 months at least, or for the last 6 to 9 months, if you see some of the Indian companies like TCS has started talking about doing double-digit growth rate in FY22. Anybody tracking the sector closely should have anticipated this guidance upgrade then itself, because for FY22, TCS and Accenture's FY21 is more, you can juxtapose these two years alongside each other, because if you actually see the entire impact of, or a significant part of the COVID impact is already there in the FY20 base. Right now, FY21 guidance, even on the revised guidance for Accenture, if you look at it on an organic basis, again they're talking about 8.5 to 9.5% sort of year-on-year growth on an organic constant currency basis. Again, if you see their guidance after March quarter, typical Accenture guidance after March quarter before the pandemic for the previous 5 to 6 years, whatever guidance they have on upgraded basis, their upgraded guidance has largely been in line with the last 5 to 6 year average guidance that Accenture has been coming out after May quarter, even before the pandemic. So my biggest question, or the biggest concern for me at this stage, is if the street is already expecting a significant growth acceleration for IT industry post the pandemic, and if Accenture numbers, both the May quarter numbers and even the full year guidance, FY21 full year guidance after upgrade, are actually in line with the pre-pandemic growth rates for May quarter and pre-pandemic guidance averages.
Okay.
5 to 6 years. So I think this actually should be
Sudhir, your point is. Okay, we'll come back to you more on the valuations of the sector and how they stack up right now. But your points on Accenture and the read-through for Indian IT is taken on board. Sandeep, morning. How would you refute these two arguments that he's made, that the organic outsourcing revenue growth, which is the more relevant metric for Indian IT, is at 3.5%, as he said, which is in line with pre-COVID times, and the guidance was pretty much on expected lines. How would you refute these two arguments?
No, there is nothing to refute. It is not versus me versus Sudhir or all of those things. So I will not refute whatever Sudhir is saying. We have a difference of opinion on that. See, I see data on a much longer term basis. So if everything was known that there will be a guidance upgrade and all, then why the Bloomberg estimate was 12.8 billion and why actual came at 13.3 billion? That is a 500 million beat, which is a 5% beat in revenue. And I hope everyone knows, on such a large base, a 5% beat on estimate is something very substantial. Now, obviously, if the stock would have been up 10-15%, then people would not have argued that the numbers are not strong. But if the stock is not up 10-15% yesterday, and why it is not up? Because after the last quarter, it has run up more than 10% after the last result, and it has outperformed Nasdaq on a one-year basis on any parameter if you see. So this IT sector typically behaves like that every quarter after the result they cool off and then again they pick up momentum. My only limited point is that if everything is known and guidance upgrade was known and all those points which are made are in public domain, then there should not have been a beat of 500 million, because it is Bloomberg estimate. I have not estimated it, and there is a line by line beat on all those numbers. Similarly, on the argument on outsourcing, I think the only thing which we have to take into account is that we have to remember that consultants are not traveling, and it is Julie Sweet's own comment on 18th of March that we will not allow our people to travel till pandemic subsides and the risk of life is not there. So you have to remember, and I know every seasoned analyst and every seasoned investor knows this, that the consultants are the one who begins the project, who starts the project. So outsourcing will always be a follow-on. So I think very strong momentum of growth. This is my personal opinion, my view from my firm's perspective, that we are in a very huge upcycle, and we should always be mentally prepared with this kind of performance. As rightly you showed some time back that the IT sector has massively outperformed Nifty and all those parameters which you are showing, and it is a 50% guidance upgrade, by the way, Rima. If you see versus last quarter, we were talking about 5.5 to some range, and now it is 10 to 11. So it is a 50% guidance upgrade. And I don't think that kind of number anyone was expecting on the guidance upgrade. Stock has moved up very sharply since the last bad result. And same thing you would have observed in Infosys. Last quarter, bad results, everyone said Infosys story is over at 1320. Today, the stock is at somewhere else. And again, when we meet next quarter this time, I think people will take cognizance of the fact that we are into a long-term story. And last point, which I would like to make, is that you should see 20, 30, 40 years data since the company is listed. It gives you much better picture. So if you see Accenture's last 20 years data, the revenue growth has been 7% CAGR, but the EPS growth has been 15%. Now, we can say that there is a buyback impact, there is a margin improvement, whatever argument we can give, but finally people are interested in earnings growth and a consistent earnings growth. And same thing is true for TCS and HCL and TechM. Between FY9 to FY16, if you see, all these three companies reported revenue CAGR of only 15%, and the EPS CAGR was more than 25%, and the stock went up 10 to 16 times in market cap in just 6-7 years. It is a huge value.
Right. We take your point, both Sandeep, and Sudhir, but I get it. We are talking about Accenture, and there is a discussion on that. Let's come closer home. Let's talk about our own IT companies. Sandeep, I am reading from Sudhir's note, and this is an interesting point. He says that the Nifty IT PE is 50% over its 10-year average PE before COVID. So yes, we take your point that we are in an upcycle, we are in a growth cycle. In the past, there has been EPS growth, etc. as well. Do you think there is further room for re-rating, or the growth will track the EPS growth itself? And I ask this from a purely dispassionate point of view because I track FMCG, and out there multiples are way more than IT. So from an IT standpoint, do you think there's more room for re-rating?
See, I don't see it in that way, honestly, Mangalam, because I see always, I believe that stock is always a derivative of the business. So if business is doing well, stock will do well. Last 10-year data reference point is itself very misleading in my view, because, we have not seen upcycle in last 10 years. That is a known fact, right? There was a small upcycle in the IMS only between FY10 to 16, in which the stocks went up 10 to 15, 16 times. The last upcycle in IT we have seen was 2003 to 2008. And all the data, if you speak to InfoAge or you speak to any consultant in the country, they will tell you one thing for sure, that in last 20 years, they have not seen this kind of demand for manpower. And let me tell you another thing, that in last 10 years, we have decoupled our revenue growth and manpower growth. So basically now, if demand for manpower is X, the revenue growth will be X.2 or 1.2X or 1.3X. So I will leave it with you that thought. And I honestly don't have any, any intention to counter anyone's argument. Everyone has an opinion, and I respect that fully. I am just trying to say that these businesses will compound at a phenomenal pace, never seen before kind of pace in my view, and the earnings will further, grow at much better pace. I may go wrong for one quarter, it can be possible, but I think that it is a 3 to 5 year upcycle, and we should not try to miss the large returns which are there. You have all the data you just showed on the screen some time back. So after 3 months, when again we meet, I can assure you my personal view is that we will again show that outperformance of IT index substantially. I hope it will happen.
Absolutely. I mean, this again is not a personal argument between any analyst, any house or any view. It's just keeping the viewers in mind and making them richer for perspective. Sudhir, your thoughts again. What would then make you optimistic about your cautious call? What is it that would negate it? Sandeep said earnings will continue over the next 4 to 5 years, notwithstanding the valuations right now. What would change your stance?
Yeah, Mangalam, actually, if you look at it, right, even if you look at long-term data, last 10-year, 20-year data, what's happening now is the narratives / rhetoric has already spiced up the expectations, has already driven the valuations 50 to 60% higher at Nifty IT level. At large cap level, many of the stocks are trading at 75% sort of higher valuations, right? Now, the point is the earnings of the companies have to live up to those expectations. So you would have seen a trend in the last quarter also, in Indian IT company results also, and yesterday's Accenture results also. The gradient of surprise for the street has significantly come down, right? Despite Accenture actually reporting an 8% beat on earnings, the gradient of surprise has actually come down because on a high multiple, you are already expecting it. So if you, in fact, it's the other way around. If you don't deliver it, there is a significant downside. Even if you meet it, we had seen many companies actually getting beaten down after the previous quarter. So my thought here is, of course, while the narratives and rhetorics have been saying and spicing up these expectations, we don't see any hard data to suggest such an upcycle, or we don't see such a hard data to believe that the growth rates or profitability of the industry would be significantly higher after COVID. Again, I'd leave you with one thought. When the pandemic had started, in the first 1 month, people have really become extremely optimistic or hyper optimistic about this work from home, so on and so forth. And where this work from home is expected to deliver higher revenue for IT companies and lower costs for IT companies. But if you see 1.5 years down the line, if you look at the business angle, if you see the commentary of most of the businesses in the recent past, it's fairly evident that it's not going to survive for a very long period of time. So, especially when we are in a bull cycle, the near-term arguments, rhetorics may spice up the multiples, but we have to see whether the actual delivery or actual meeting of the expectations or beating of the expectations will happen or not.
Sandeep, Sudhir, thank you very much for your insight as well as information. The idea was never to pit you both against each other, but we just wanted to present both sides of this growth versus valuation argument for the IT sector. You need both bulls and bears to make this market. That's the outlook coming in on the IT sector. We need to slip into a very short break, but there is